everyone, I am here with your weekly Tarotscope for the week of October the 22nd to the 28th of 2018. As always, if you want your own reading, you can go down below to the Etsy shop. This month I have featured, I have the Past Life reading at a lower price for the month of October, and I have a new reading, the You're a Rockstar reading. So you can check that out if you want. Also, if you're interested in full and new moon updates, so what's going on astrologically, you can go to my website and subscribe for the newsletter, which has what's going on in the sky, because we do have a full moon this week in the sign of Taurus. So let's get started. I am using the Tarot of the Vampires for the month of October. If you follow me on Instagram, I do daily draws on there, as well as on Facebook. And so that's what I'm using for the month of October, along with the beautiful Halloween Oracle as well. So, all right, so I've pre-shuffled. Let's get going. Let's start with Aries. Aries, you have the Prince of Skulls, or the Knight of Pentacles. So this week is one where you have to kind of slow down a bit, which I know you don't always want to do, Aries, but it's saying slow and steady is going to win the race this week. So it's really about just sort of planning out your activities and doing so, you know, going for your goals at kind of a slow and steady fashion, which I know you kind of like to put a lot of energy in at the beginning, but it says that this week's not going to work like that. You can't just go, go, go. You're going to have to, you know, do a little bit every day and kind of pace yourself a little bit better and be a little more patient. Taurus, we have the Three of Skulls reversed. You may be feeling dissatisfied this week with some of the work that you're doing. You may be feeling like, oh, do I want to give this up and go do something else? Or is it just me? Am I in a funk? And that's something you're going to have to answer and examine. We do have a full moon in your sign this week. And so there is kind of a conflict because it is conjuncting Uranus, where there may be disruptions and things, which I know, Taurus, you don't always like. And they're asking you to change and transform things, but you have to decide, is that changing and transforming the work you're doing or just your attitude towards it? So you have to examine that this week. For Gemini, we have death this week. So lots of change and transformation, Gemini. And I know you like to kind of, again, you're a fast-moving sign like Aries, and there's a temptation to try to rush the process, but when it comes to things dying and new things coming into this, you know, into your life, you can't always rush those things. You can't always just breeze through them. So there is going to be, you know, some change, some transition, but let yourself know, like, it's okay for things to take the time that they take. It's okay to mourn things. You don't have to rush through the process. For Cancer, we have the Daughter of Scepters, or Page of Wands reversed. Cancer, you may feel very scattered this week, like all over the place, not sure what's going on. When this is reversed too, it says that we may be thrown off by some news. We may get some bad news, and there is, you know, because you were ruled by the moon, we do have the full moon this week on Wednesday, conjuncting Uranus, the planet of sudden changes. So there may be something that kind of throws you off your equilibrium. I'm saying the best thing you can do in these cases is talk to a friend, but also to make sure you're making some creative time for yourself and just some alone time for yourself so that, you know, you can kind of process what's going on. For Leo, we have the Lord of Knives, or the King of Swords. Leo, you're going to have to make a decision this week, and I know that you worry sometimes about what other people think, and this is one where you can't. You would just have to make the decision that you need to make and stand by it, whether people like it or not. For Virgo, we have the Eight of Grails reversed. When this comes up reversed, the Eight of Cups reversed, I often ask people, what is it that they're avoiding? When this card's right side up, it says that we're walking away from things for a reason. We're walking away from something that doesn't serve us anymore. But when it's upside down, it sometimes means that we're avoiding something, that there's something that we don't want to do because it's uncomfortable, or maybe you know, we don't want to have that conflict with someone, and so it's better to just kind of push the person away or not deal with it rather than confronting the issue. So Virgo, you're being challenged this week to really take a look at things and to confront things this week. For Libra, we have the Queen of Knives. So much like Leo, a decision must be made this week, and it's one that people aren't always going to like. Now, with this particular card, there is, I always say, you know, make sure that things, the experience that you have makes you better and not bitter. So sometimes what happens is we judge things in the present based on things that have happened in the past, and that's not always relevant. So make sure that you're using your wisdom when you're making these decisions, but at the same time, make sure you're examining some of your biases as well. But when you do make a decision, remember you don't have to explain it to anyone, that you're in charge and you're in control. And I know, Libra, you don't like to upset people, but sometimes you have to do what's best for you. For Scorpio, we have the Daughter of Skulls. Like Aries, this is going to be kind of a slow and steady week. It's really encouraging you, Scorpio, that this is a week for learning. This is a week for development. It's also a week of taking care of your health, taking care of your time, making time for yourself this week. For Sagittarius, we have the Prince of Scepters reversed. So the Prince of Scepters is a very Sagittarius card, and when it's reversed, it's warning us not to rush into things, not to, just kind of plow into things without all the facts. So make sure that you're slowing down a bit. I know you like to rush in and kind of take charge or rescue somebody, or do what you think is right, but it says that you may not have all the facts this week, so slow down a bit and make sure that you know everything before you act. It's also a warning against any kind of foolish risks. It's not saying you shouldn't take risks or you shouldn't go on that trip or move somewhere, but it's saying make sure all your I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and make sure that you have all the information at hand before you make a big change. For Capricorn, we have the Lovers reversed. So Capricorn, this is a week where it's asking you to really examine some of the choices that you're making. When the Lovers is right side up, it's asking us to make a choice with our heart, but when it's reversed, at its worst, it could sometimes be an infidelity or somebody not being faithful to you, or maybe you're the one that's not being faithful. But that's kind of in extreme situations. I think that overall what this means is that you have to examine, am I really following my heart, and am I being honest about it? Am I hiding things from people? Am I not showing my true self because I worry what other people will think? It's very much about being honest when this comes up reversed, and being true to ourselves and not hiding things from others. It's also, this card sometimes comes up when we find things out about people that surprise us and sometimes disappoint us. So with the full moon this week, it is opposite Venus and conjunct Uranus, which means we may find out some surprising things about people around us. So it's just a heads up that says that, but it really, you can't control what other people do, you can only control yourself. So it's saying to examine yourself and your motives this week, and just examine, am I being true to myself? Maybe you're hiding some of the things you like because you worry what other people will think. And so it's asking you to examine some of those things this week, Capricorn. For Aquarius, we have the moon reversed. So Aquarius, you're going to be affected by the full moon, that's for sure. Don't take your moods too seriously is what this card is warning. So you may be feeling really moody, you may be feeling really up and down. Be gentle with yourself. You may have some old issues triggered by things this full moon. And so it's really asking you, to be kind to yourself this week. Don't make any sudden decisions. Again, you just like Sagittarius, you don't have all the facts, but it's saying that you might have a big reaction to something that maybe doesn't warrant it. So it's saying to step back and look at things, but it's okay to feel your feelings too at the same time. For Pisces, we have the Three of Knives. So Pisces, this is a week where you may be experiencing some sorrow. There may be some news that either brings you sorrow, or it may just remind you of something from the past. There may be just things that you are mourning, and again, just like with Aquarius, it's saying it's okay to feel your feelings. This is not a week to make decisions. This is a week to just kind of, it's okay to be sad sometimes, and it's okay to ask people, for space, or it's okay to ask people for help, or just an ear to listen to you. So it looks like an emotional week for a lot of people. This is a week where it's, for some signs like Leos and Libras, it's saying you're going to have to make a decision that maybe some people won't like. And then other signs like Aquarius and Sagittarius, it's saying don't make a decision right now. You're too emotional, or you're going to rush into things, or you just don't have all the facts yet. So an interesting week. So I think this full moon that's coming up is definitely affecting people. Now our oracle card for the week is Dawn, the light after the darkness. So I'm kind of glad we have this card here, because I know this is going to be a challenging week for a lot of people. And so it's really asking us to remember that sometimes things are a little bit darker before they brighten again. That, you know, there's good times around the corner, that it's not always going to be hard like this, that, you know, that there is a new beginning, that there is new starts available to us. And that's kind of available to us whenever we want, really. We don't have to wait for the moon to be in a particular point, or, you know, for New Year's or birthdays or whatever. We can always decide to start again every day. So that's what I'm seeing for this week. So bit of a challenging week, but I hope that your week is easy. I hope that your week goes smoothly and that you have a great full moon. If you have any questions or comments, put below. And as always, peace, love, rock.